Hi friends, I am Awdhesh Singh, a commissioner in the Custom and Central Excise Department, an IRS officer of 1990 batch. Today I am going to tell you something about the government jobs in India. There are so many myths associated with the government jobs of India that most of the people have absolutely no understanding as to how the government officers work and what they expect when they join a government service. This is just about me. I am an IIT graduate and postgraduate, and I have done my PhD also from IIITM Gwalior. I cleared civil services in 1990 and joined IRS Custom and Central Excise. I have written 2 books, Practicing Spiritual Intelligence and The Secret Red Book of Leadership, and you can contact me on the address which is given here. The first myth about the government service is that people think that the government officers are corrupt. While it is not denied that many of the government officers are corrupt, but it is absolutely wrong to say that most of the officers are corrupt. We know about the corrupt officers because they are generally on the news. But the honest officers who are silently working and doing their job, they are not in the news, and so most people don't know about them. You should also understand that most of the corruptions actually take place with the active connivance of the people. It is the people who want to pay the policeman to some bribe or TT to bribe when they break the law. If the people are honest, there is no way the government officers can become dishonest. And you must also understand that the government laws in India are very, very strict, and even a simple 1 rupee corruption case can actually lead to the dismissal of the government officer and also his imprisonment for a long time. The second important myth about the government officer is that they are very inefficient. People are actually not aware that there are a lot of rules and procedures which are framed by the parliament which the government officers are required to follow. And since they follow all those procedures, it takes some time to take a decision. But times are changing, all the procedures and laws are being simplified, and the government officers are now using tremendous amount of information technology and e-governance, which is making the government offices very, very efficient. Most of the people are having the impression that there is a lot of political interference in the functioning of government officers. They form this view because they see the same thing happening in the TV, media, films, fictions, where the politicians are shown to exercise so much of pressure on the government officers and get the work done. This is absolutely not correct, because you must understand that the politicians and government officers are working in harmony most of the time. You should also understand that all the powers are vested with the government officers by law. The powers of the SP, DM, Assistant Commissioner of Custom Excise or Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax or an officer in charge of the police station cannot be exercised by any of the politicians. These powers has to be exercised by the government officers only, and the politicians cannot interfere and do the job which the government officers are required to do. When you see the life of government officer in movies, you feel that as if they have to do a lot of sacrifices and they have absolutely no personal life, they have no time for the family. Nothing is more wrong than that. The fact is that there are very few postings like SP or in a police department or in army department where people have to really work on unusual hours. Most of the government officers are actually leading a very, very peaceful life. They come to the office on the right time, they leave the office on the right time, they have a lot of leaves, they have 5-day working. Addition to that, they have got 150 days of paid leaves and holidays every year. Then the female employees have also 2 years of fully paid childcare leaves, and they also get months of maternity leave. And the best thing in the government officer is that suppose you are having an important work at home, or maybe you have to take care of your children, you can always request the government to give a lighter charge, and that is generally permitted. Then another myth is that the government officers are frequently transferred. Most of the people have the impression as if the government officers are moving in suitcases. They are carrying the suitcases and they are transferred every frequently. This is very, very wrong. There are thousands and thousands of government officers and few are transferred, but those transfers which are done make news and people get the impression as if they are very frequently transferred. Most government officers have a very stable tenure. They stay in the same station for many years. They're able to take care of their children's education. And their transfer is not considered to be a punishment, because wherever you go, you get the full facilities. The government take care of all your transportation expenditures. And we as a government officers often welcome transfers because we get an opportunity to meet new people, see new culture, and learn new things in life. And therefore, it's not that these are not welcomed by the government officers. Then most people are very much enamored by the red light vehicle, big bungalows of the government officer, and think that they are always enjoying that facility. This is not true. They enjoy the facilities, there's no doubt, but they enjoy these facilities only at a limited charges. Like when they are SP or DM or police commissioner, they enjoy all these facilities. But in most of the time, they live in flats or in small houses, which more people are not aware. So if you are joining the government only to get the big facilities, it is better that you break this myth, because this is not true. It is also a great myth that all the government officers are very powerful. People ask as what IPS officer can do, what IS officer can do, what IRS officers can do. The fact is that it is only when you are posted a particular charge you enjoy the power of that chair. The moment you are removed, you may be an IS, IPS or IRS officer, but actually you have absolutely no power when your charge is changed. And you should also understand that power is not something which is really a very good thing, in the sense that whenever you exercise power, you create some sort of personal enmity. And the greater is the power, the more is your responsibility. So you should always handle the power with very, very carefully. It is also a myth that the government officers are not accountable. In fact, in our country, the government officers have largest amount of accountability. They are accountable to the courts, they are accountable to CBI, vigilance, and the Lokayuks. They are also accountable to the CIC, as you can call any information, through RTI, and they are also accountable to the Controller and Auditor General team of India. Then all the decisions of the government are challenged, that can be questioned, they have to face government inquiries, and they may face action even after retirement. So much is the accountability in the government offices. Then some people think that once you are into the government service, you don't have to bother, your life is secured, you cannot be removed. This is wrong. Every year, a large number of officers are being removed. They face a lot of departmental action, they are suspended, and they are even dismissed from the service after following the due process. And the worst thing is that once they lose the government service, they lose all the retirement benefits. Another myth is that the government officers are very high flyer and they're very popular, famous, media savvy. This is wrong. You see, only when you are in certain charges like SP, DM or police commissioner, the media is there looking for you. In other charges, the government officers are sitting in the same places, the IES officer, IPS officer, IRS officers, and nobody actually comes to take your interview or show you in the media. Most of the government officers lead a very anonymous type of life, and they work very silently. And we government officers are absolutely prohibited to interact with the media and express our personal views. And the media is also interested in covering only the wrong things of the government officer. We generally avoid media. And finally, there is a myth that the government officers are very poorly paid. This is absolutely wrong. That may be true a few years ago, but this is no more true. The government officers today are very well paid. The salary of the class 1 officer is something around 80,000, 90,000 rupees nowadays, which is 2-3 times more salary than the employees in the corporate sector. Then the government officers are also ensured of their promotions and increment throughout their life. This type of facility you can never expect anywhere in the government, anywhere in the corporate sector. So let me assure you that the government service is an excellent option to choose, and it is a great career to build and a great opportunity to serve the nation in the best possible manner. So you should join the government services by knowing all the facts, and I hope this will help you. Thank you.